Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Was a capo, a Nazi prison guard who happened to be Jewish, ever put on trial by our so-called Department of Justice? There have been many of them because there were so many. Jews had a special name for these sadistic and diabolically cruel people, many of whom were former criminals themselves. They were sick, and they enjoyed being sadistic. We can also glean from the internet the fact that Hitler's armed forces had over 150,000 Jews in them, some who had become generals and admirals also. So they enjoyed being part of the army. They moved their way all the way up. They were very loyal to the administration now in Germany. And I know of one person who used to go swimming, and he was in the German army, and when he got a chance, he was Jewish, he escaped, and he got to Switzerland, and he came over to America. But he wasn't in there voluntarily. Now, that's a little bit different for John Demjanjuk. He grew up in the Ukraine in the 30s, 1930s, where communist Joe Stalin of the Soviet Union starved to death 10 million people, Ukrainians. Later, Stalin drafted Demjanjuk and others into the Soviet army. Did John Demjanjuk have a choice other than to join the Soviet army? No. You either join or you die. Again, John Demjanjuk had a choice to join when he was captured, become a prison guard. Did he have a choice over there? No, he didn't have a choice. You either become a Nazi prison guard or you are killed. Okay, so people are being forced into it. Well, he said, well, he could have tried to escape. Well, what if he had escaped and hadn't been shot down running away from the camp? What happens to other people then? Well, the Nazis had a good way of doing it, and if you remember Maximilian Kolbe, he died in a Nazi concentration camp because of that thing. 10 people are killed, starved to death, and if one prisoner would escape. So, as I see it, the Department of Justice has two standards: only hounding non-Jews who are persecuted, like John Demjanjuk, and to death for 30 years. And it is that justice to die in exile and away from family and friends, while they don't hound or do anything about the Kapos or the Jews who were in the Nazi army. They don't want to admit that. That's all forgotten by them. They're not going to do anything about it. And this Department of Justice, our so-called Department of Justice, is letting that happen too. What a tragedy. How cruel to die overseas, away from home. Nobody can be over with you. No, we've got a very sadistic type of rule for the American people. Thank you very much for watching Plain Truth.